Welcome to another day of grinding. The time is currently 9:24. Could have easily lied there instead it's like 5 a.m. and I woke up, but no. I usually wake up at around 6:30 to 7:30. I eat my breakfast calmly, peacefully. I read a little bit to get my mind jogging slowly, and then I head out to work at around 9. I try to follow almost like a 9 to 5 schedule, except it's more like a 9 to like 7 or just until I'm ready to go to sleep schedule of work. But it's another day of grinding and building up the clothing brand. We're currently on day number 7, if I'm not mistaken. Also, depending on the order of the series, building a loungewear brand, the corporate dropout series that you know and love. And I feel like I started this series and the idea of starting this brand, honestly, the perfect time. So, if you don't know, or if you do know, I started this YouTube channel talking about and documenting my TikTok shop journeys. Pretty much when I went and I said TikTok shop is going to be a success, I'm going to have success in it. And I started documenting the whole process. So, TikTok shop and that initial business that I started on TikTok shop is my main source of revenue right now. Like, that's how I was able to drop out of the corporate world and have this freedom that I have is because of that business. That's my main source of income. And recently I've been noticing something that leads me to the conclusion that I stated, that this was the perfect time for me to start this brand. The idea of starting a brand versus kind of just selling things and having a looser brand that people, if they see someone else selling that same product, they'll just go buy it from someone else. I've been seeing a lot on TikTok shop specifically, and even on Etsy, of Chinese manufacturers, and they are flooding the markets. They'll just copy whatever product is doing good for you or another seller and sell it for a fraction of the cost, 10, maybe sometimes even $20 less. Now, they've been doing this to a certain degree. However, they never had the content to match. So they would just list up their products on TikTok shop and you just see them on the shop tab, but they had no videos for them. And then they started making content more recently. And they actually do it pretty decently. They actually make videos and they'll have the shirt or the sweater on like a mannequin to show how it fits, and they'll have like good cuts that make sense. And the content feels very natural, doesn't feel very Chinese. And another advantage that they have is that TikTok just allows them to, first of all, to sell from China to the US market when you can't do it the other way around. You can't sell from the US to someone in China or in Europe to those other TikTok shop markets. You can't. But second, they allow them to use footage and things that aren't original in their videos that they didn't make themselves, and they won't flag it, they won't copyright it, they won't take it down or anything, which they don't do for other sellers. So they're flooding the market. And then we also have United States like factories and manufacturers that make embroidered sweaters also hopping on TikTok shop and going on live and making content and also selling things for a fraction of the cost. Man, there's one specifically in Florida that they have like a huge embroidery warehouse. It's just a big warehouse, bunch of sweatshirts, I don't know, hundreds of embroidery machines, a bunch of employees, and they're selling embroidered sweatshirts with simple embroideries for $23. That's very, very, very hard to compete with doing print on demand. So it's come to a point now where in a few months, I feel like it's just going to be very, very difficult for anyone to sell stuff on TikTok shop unless it's their own brand. Because if the Chinese sellers see you selling it, they're going to make the exact same thing and sell it for $20 or $10 less. So I feel like I'm starting this at the perfect time. And I'm not gonna let up the fight, obviously, because I'm still getting sales. I can still get sales on TikTok Shop and on Etsy as well. I've had a really good month this month on Etsy, where I think started the month at like 10 orders and now we're at like 49. Hopefully can close the month off at 50 orders. Also got 10 reviews, 9 of those 5-star, only one 2-star review because it was for a little misunderstanding. So the Etsy is rising up and I'm understanding Etsy more. And then also the TikTok shop, I'm still banging out the content, but I'm actually sold out of a lot of my inventory because the ban was going to happen. So when the ban was going to happen, I said, doesn't make sense for me to get a ton of inventory. The ban didn't happen. I'm pretty much sold out of everything. So I'm not selling anything. My inventory is going to come in hopefully by the end of this week or early next week so I can start selling again. But I'm pretty depleted on both Etsy and on TikTok shop. I don't have much stuff. So hopefully that's going to come in and we'll be back on track. But let's get to work. Let's get this day started. don't think people realize just how time consuming it is to get all the little shots of B-roll and the clips and everything. Because right now I'm about to edit the short for TikTok and for Instagram, and I literally have like 60 clips. So cutting all those up into the video, just that's gonna take like 2 hours. But also getting all those shots took me a very long time because I'm at the gym and I have to get this angle and this angle. But you might think, okay, like you just put up the camera and you record as you do the workout. No, because you'll find that a bunch of the times you set up the camera, you think it's gonna look great, it's gonna look amazing. But then once you actually do the work while the video is going, you look back at it, you realize your head was cut off, your arm was cut off. It was like a weird angle that doesn't make sense. And then you have to take another shot and another one, another one. So something that I'm trying to do is incorporate, for example, if I'm at the gym and that's like the part of the video that's playing, I need like 7 different angles, 7 different cuts, 7 different zooms. Obviously, I'm exaggerating amount so that I can keep the watcher's attention. I noticed the people that I like to watch, they're like day in the life, they have a lot of different angles, a lot of different cuts, and it keeps it entertaining and it keeps you kind of hooked a little bit watching versus gym and it's just you walking on the treadmill for like 5 seconds or six. Like even 6 seconds is too long for a short video. It needs to stay at every clip. It needs to be about 1 to 2 seconds, 1 to 2 seconds, 1 to 2 seconds, 1 to 2 seconds. In the beginning, a lot of quick clips. I think that's what works the best. But yeah, I'm experimenting. I'm also learning editing tricks or like editing styles, trying to find my style. But every week, every few days, I try to learn 1 or 2 new editing tricks. So the one I'm going to want to implement into this video is having a bunch of different fonts pop up, like writing pop up quickly in a bunch of different fonts in the beginning because it looks very cool. And another one, this is a bit bold, this is a bit ambitious to go for this, but have like I'm sitting down and then behind me there is the phone, when you bring down the notification center and you turn on do not disturb, have that come up behind me, click, and it's like I'm locking in and then the day plays. But we'll see how that goes, but it's grind time. No matter how the day is going, it could be your worst day ever. It's all solved with this little sit down, a little Champions League football. I hope I don't get copyrighted for this, by the way. Let me turn off the volume to the game, but just got back from a bunch of rounds of work. I had this meeting with this fulfillment company. It's not gonna work. American fulfillment companies are just not it, but I'll tell you guys about that later. Right now, it's no work, watch football time. So I'll see y'all later. The journey continues, and another day is in the books. I don't know what day it is, I think day 7. But this is going to be fun to look back on when we hit day 300. Do y'all think I'm going to make it? Imagine saying all this, I don't even make it to day 10. But we'll make it, God will. We'll make it day 300, 600. By day 1,000, I don't think it makes sense to continue because by then, the business is going to have hit 10 million. So, yeah, I say that seriously. I don't say that as a joke. Because when I started TikTok Shop and I was telling everyone, eventually I'm going to hit 10 orders. 10 orders came. I was telling people, eventually I'm going to hit 100, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. And all those thousands came. So I'm certain of it. And just got to keep my foot on the gas and keep working hard. And eventually everyone who works hard gets their reward. So that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow or the day after.